Hi, this is Stan from Hardwood Inspirations. We will be looking at part 8 of our Alaska trip in 2024, where we visited the Independence Mine in Hatcher Pass and the Musk Ox Farm. And we were camping in Palmer, Alaska, and saw a beautiful bald eagle while we were there. Hope you enjoy the video and have a blessed day. Here we are at Palmer, Alaska at the campground. It's the state campground. And we're just enjoying our time here right now, just chilling and everything. That's Keith and Sonja's trailer right there. And right up there is a bald eagle. A beautiful bald eagle was perched right up there on top of that tree in our camp. And here's Sonja with her telephoto lens getting some good pictures of the bald eagle. And of course, there's Wally right there, and Gibbs is right there. He's hugging on to me. He's getting all kinds of loving. Here's a couple close-ups I took with my telephoto lens off my Nikon camera of the bald eagle. Looks like he's cleaning himself there, and there he looks proud, just like a normal bald eagle should look. Here we are arriving at Hatcher Pass at the Independence Mine. This is a very world-famous mine for having extracted a lot of gold, In today's market, it would be worth millions and millions of dollars.
In 1941. They produced 34,417 ounces of gold.
So I calculated out the value of the gold at $2,000 an ounce. It would be $68,834,000. That's a good retirement fund. I think I could live on that. Here it is, the Independence Mines now. The Independence Mine State Historical Park is the site of mining operations in the Tanganyika Mountains across Hatcher Pass from Palmer, Alaska. And mining dates back to 1897 when there were active claims still in the vicinity. It opened again in 1934, and it covers an area of 76 acres or 75 acres. Assayer's office. Oh wow, look at that. A slew box. Retort room, it says. Furnace room. Drill bits and chisels. A rock hammering. Yep, there's the safe where they kept the gold. Call it the balance room. Hello. This is known as the bucking room. All this old machinery.
Look at that.
Quartz and granite, and then get gold from it. Granite rock bodies. A big old furnace here, blasting furnace.
Big safe in here.
And back to the safe. This is where they kept all the gold.
Is it?
Probably. The sailors kept it.
I don't know where they did the...
And here's the Alaska Gold Rush trails. Here's a map showing all the different trails and routes that people took in order to find gold. As you can see, there was a lot of gold found in Alaska. A lot of people came up through Canada. Some of them came by sea to some of the ports. And then gold mining in Alaska, a living history. And this is a list of some of the most popular places that gold was found and some of the buildings that are still around. Here we are up above walking by the mine. Here's some old mining cars, rail cars that were sitting here. They were still on the rails, and the rails still went into the mine area. A lot of the original buildings are still here, although they're very dilapidated, and there's danger signs up so people won't go in them because they're actually falling down already. As you can see in the boardwalk, there's a rail line for the rail cars. Here's Sonja and Cy. As you can tell, they're a little miserable from the wet rain. There's a picture of Gibby Lou. And then here's Wally also. Neither of them look very happy today. There's Keith and Cy. They're way up on top on the bypass trail. And then here's an old bunkhouse and then an old building that's fallen down. There's the peak, Hatcher Pass Peak up behind. And then there's the valley and the pass itself. This is talking about the powerhouse and the power they used, and then how they did sorting of the rock and everything to get the gold, the assay office, and the whole process for doing this. And then there's another view of the pass and some of the buildings down below that are still there. Here's another view of the buildings down below. Here's Cy and Sonja, and they're still smiling even though it's miserable. There's Keith, he's enjoying the day. Notice he also has a stocking cap on, and so it was a pretty miserable day. It was raining quite a bit, and it was a lot cooler than we were used to. Here's the water house and the rail car that's going into it. So it's kind of cool to see all this old technology and how they did them. Here's the creek that both Cy, Sonja, and Keith panned in. Here's some information around the water tunnel. And then Keith up above taking pictures. Sonja and Cy both taking pictures of Hatcher Pass. And then Keith and Cy taking pictures of the pass.
Ox Farm. Cool. The old building there. And
the Musk Ox here out in front of the farm was made out of metal. It's kind of interesting to see that and how that was being done. We're in the kind of showroom area here, and they have a musk right here. Pretty nice fur on it. Boy, are they one ugly beast, though. Here we are on the outside of where the market was, and there's my Cy being a little silly in front of the Musk Ox out in front. So, that's my wife. I love her. And then here's Keith and Sonja checking out the one inside and feeling what it feels like and how soft it is and everything. And here's a couple that were outside. We were not able to go out there and actually see them, so these pictures are through the window from inside. They charged a fee to actually go out to the field. But they're a pretty good sized beast. They're bigger than a cow, and I'd say about the size of a buffalo for the most part. And but they like to eat grass and stuff, just like any other animal that is of that breed. And here's a good picture of one that was inside. This one, of course, is stuffed. And it's a nice, big, furry, long-haired musk ox. And we had a pretty good time there, although it wasn't quite what we expected. Here's another front picture of them. Like I said, they're not the prettiest animals in the world, but it was kind of cool seeing them and seeing where they live in the world. They had a very nice flat world map on the floor, and all the red shows where there are musk ox, where they're located. Quite a few in Canada and some in Alaska and stuff. Here we are in the store. They had some pretty nice products in there, but they were not cheap. It was expensive. So we ended up not buying hardly anything. In fact, I don't think we bought anything.